And so what we're looking at is the dates change, or hold on here. The new rules start tomorrow. So October 15th was when the new rules kick in. So any new bookings made tomorrow or after will fall under the new deposit policy. So most bookings are now automatically going to be non-refundable. If you want to make them a refundable booking, you can put the offer code in refundable. I haven't tried this, we'll try it tomorrow and see. But keep in mind that everything is non-refundable now going forward, except for groups, and then interline and family and friends, which we don't really book anyways. Those are still refundable, but everything else will be automatically non-refundable. For now, they are offering half price deposits to ease the transition. So like a 7-night sailing in a balcony, it's showing here 125. I'm assuming that's US. But anyways, it'll show up in one source, but they're doing that just until, I guess, this dust settles. So yeah, I don't really have anything else about that except that you can make it refundable. Except for some of them, I don't think you can. Like, I don't think you can make the, that lead-in category that's guarantee. I don't think you can make that refundable. That was always a non-refundable, but so that won't change because we never had the ability to make that refundable. But I think anything else, like if they just book a regular cabin category, you can make it refundable. Yeah, and groups will stay refundable. And yeah, do you guys have any questions about that?
Have we maximized the group effort on Princess?
You mean, have we gotten as many groups as we can?
Yeah.
So we're only allowed 8 a month. I don't think we fully utilize it because, maybe when Caribbean comes out this year, we'll more so utilize it. But the problem is, like, when Asia comes out, I don't need 8 groups.
Yeah.
Right? It's when the Caribbean comes out that we need more than 8 groups. So yeah, we do try and spread that out over a few months. But yeah, we could look into more. We haven't had any Caribbean in a really long time with Princess or Holland.
And it limit is 8 for the agency, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And we did, just to give you guys a heads up, we did submit a request, and I'll probably follow up today. About at least a week ago, I would say, for about 30 MSC groups. We said, oh, should we do it online or just send it in via email? And they said, oh, no, send it in via email. And now we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So I'll follow up with them. It would be nice to have before the end of the month so that we can promote it. But we're looking at late 2026, 2027, just so that we can actually capture some sort of a savings.
Okay. Yeah, I got an email back from a client, just came back from MSC. Didn't like it. Food, service.
You got to make sure you get the right client on there. Like I would, I wouldn't send any of our celebrity people on MSC unless they're going in the yacht club.
Yeah, that's it. That's the issue.
Yeah. But, for a family of 4, you can get on there for pretty dirt cheap. So, there's more things you can tolerate if you want your vacation. So we may as well be the one to sell it to them.
You're right.
I kind of explain it like when you're going to Cuba, like, the beaches are going to be beautiful, but the food is not what you're going for. The service is not there. Like, if you kind of give a parallel to that, I mean, there's a lot of people who love to go to Cuba and they're good with it, but manage your expectations accordingly.
Yep. MSC's chips are amazing. Mm-hmm. It's the food. It's bland. It's okay. It's nothing fancy.
Any feedback on the world ships? Anybody sail? Any clients?
No, not yet.
No. I'm wondering if they're any different.
Yeah. I don't know. I would imagine it's like the ships are pretty great. They have a lot of great stuff on them, but I don't imagine the food would be any different. It's like going from celebrity to celebrity. Like, even if you're on the Reflection versus the Apex, like, the food's going to be the same. or, somewhat of the same standards.
Yeah, that's the risk.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But again, look at Royal Caribbean's prices and Norwegian's prices. They're just,
Crazy.
if people want to still take their vacation, then MSC's their option. I can't believe some of these reports that I'm reading about how many people are just not going to the US these days. Like the fact that we're still busy, I'm just so thankful, because honestly, it's a pretty scary time to think that 40% of Canadians are just not going anywhere right now, or, foregoing their winter vacation because they don't want to go through the US.
I just wonder how many people are, we're posting a lot of low cost cruises, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if how many people are taking that versus the higher price ones. I still think our clientele aims for the higher points.
Absolutely. So we do post for both. Sherry does all the ones that are group spaced, which are typically a lot pricier, include more perks, and I do all those last minute flash sales.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm only doing like 1 or 2 a day of those. Then I'm trying to find something else, like a family or a back-to-back, or.
Well, I guess I'm asking questions, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, very often they end up somewhere else. But I mean, another sailing, not that one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so everybody's good with Princess. That starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So most of us are going to be out of office starting on Sunday. So make sure to set up your out of office. And pretty much everybody, I don't think I heard from Luke, but I think everybody said they were going to be accepting leads. So it doesn't look like we have to change any of our processes for leads. Staff, we're going to have Kayla and Noonie back at home. So we're still going to be okay with, as far as, we should be okay with phones for the most part. I think Kayla's got everything covered as far as making sure someone's around. Emails, invoices, we should be okay. Just make sure you've got your phones, like for agents, make sure you've got your phones so that you can, if it's not an emergency, just let your client know, and, no different than any other vacation, but we are going to be busy. So we'll just do our best.
I'm good for leads, Tina.
Mm-hmm. You guys all say that until like the third day. Wait and see how tired you are.
Yeah.
But anyways, Matt's at home. So, you can, if you need help, if you want him to take a lead from you, he's there.
Yep, I have nothing planned.
Oh. How's Sandra doing?
Sandra?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, because she had.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm talking to her this morning. She hasn't texted me back yet. I haven't talked to her in a few weeks, except just on texting. So I will ask her, but she is so pumped. She's like, every day asking me questions and telling me how excited she is. And so.
No, the celebrity lookalike thing is throwing me for a loop that she asked.
Why?
Because I can't answer any of them.
Oh, I did it for everybody but me.
Well, you're good.
So even because I wasn't sure if you guys were going to be able to work. Well, I know Sherry did it, but I wasn't sure if everyone else was going to do it. So I did it. I did it just so she would have some, and it was fun. It was fun. Sorry, I'm completely having a melt. So the Star Princess. So I had asked if I could get into the sailing starts on November 7th, which I'm on, but the event is on November 6th. So I had sent an email into Princess to ask if I could get an invite, and I got my invite. So now I'm scrambling because you have to dress in something shiny. I don't have anything shiny. One more thing I got to shove in my suitcase. So we're very excited. It actually sounds like we're going to be able to get on the ship on the 6th and stay over, because it says, it says if you're on the inaugural sailing, then bring your luggage on the 6th. So we're like, oh, that would be really cool. And they have a musical band. They haven't said who it is, but it'll definitely be Matthew McConaughey and his wife will be there. And so that's why Linda said, all right. So that's pretty exciting, because I don't think this is more of a staff media partner thing, not really an agent thing. So I feel very fortunate to get the invite. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. Okay, that's all I have. Linda, why don't you? I know you've got a lot of stuff going on these days.
You're mute.
Who's she
Don't
talking
carry-
to?
She's not muted, but
No, we cannot hear you. Why don't you leave and come back? Killa,
Lips
why
are
don't you
moving,
go?
but nothing's coming out.
Not too much on my end. We have figured out. I don't know if it's the final process, but we have figured out a process to start charging fees in house. So clients will start being charged for those group fees that were pending. We were on hold kind of from August. So there's an influx of those, slowly making our way through that list, and then at least have a solution now that we can charge them right away rather than leaving it sitting for a couple months. But yeah, that's kind of the only thing I think.
so what's the change? Is it just a different provider or?
Yeah, we changed accounting systems. So we were previously using Xero, now we're in QuickBooks. And the connection that we use to process payments, the tool that we use, we had to connect it to QuickBooks, but it needed kind of a middle connection as well. So it's just been a lot of trying to get systems speaking to each other, which has been a little bit of a...
It has been a complete nightmare, to be honest. So they actually are just doing a workaround right now to be able to get caught up because there's about 6,000 in fees that were due.
Yeah, so we've been able to start processing those. If your clients maybe see something that they're like, what is this from a booking that was supposed to be charged maybe in August. But that's why we're doing it right now. They're not held off until we have like a final system in place. Other than that, I don't think there's too. Oh, we are still getting. We did post the land position on Indeed, and we are getting applications for that now. So I'll be going through those this week, and that's kind of all the news I have. Though.
Question for the admin side of the house. I know that almost every spam email that I have found, there is an attachment that's in it, whether it's our form or it's the payment request or anything. It seems that it's a part of that email that ends up what's putting it into spam. And I'm just wondering on the admin side, if they're having difficulty reaching clients when they're sending them payment requests or anything because it's a similar type link, that we're seeing a delay in the returns on payments or anything like that.
Killa, can you look into that?
Yeah, I don't think there's a delay on their end. They are also getting stuff going into their spam folder. And the only solution that I can think that I've been able to find at this point is to just, like Tina said earlier, if you tell the system it's not spam, eventually it should pick up that shouldn't be going into that folder. But yeah, I can look into a little bit further to see why it's not working for everyone.
Yeah, just maybe throw some things into chat and see what it says about attachments, or because I'm wondering if there's. I mean, we didn't change anything. That's the confusing part.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was something like in the main email system, like the main email account, but nothing.
Every email in my spam was either because of a lead, so there was an attachment from the lead form, or it was a payment, so it was an attachment from the payment form. Every single one of them had a forwarded email that had an attachment to it, and that's what generated the potential spam risk.
Lisa's saying she had 3 that had no attachments in spam.
Yeah.
I think for the admin, it tends to be the payment, like when they submit their credit card details.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed is going into their spam folder. So it's something that from a form, obviously, but I can look into it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the lead you sent me last night, Tina, it went straight to spam because I kept waiting for it. And all of a sudden I said, well, maybe I'll check spam.
Anything coming from VCRM is going to go into spam. We haven't been able, we even put the IP address in to say the only thing we can do is actually just have everybody add the VCRM email into their inbox, into their contacts. That's the only way really for it to work. But you mean it's happening with clients' emails now too. So
Yeah.
But we'll try and dig into it a little bit more. The other thing, Kayla, is can you look into Dialpad, because it doesn't ring for everybody. For True North Cruise Deals doesn't ring for everybody.
Okay, let me just refresh it now. I'll take a look over.
All right, the Kayla, is that it?
That's it for me.
Okay, Linda.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So, what's going on with us? So, exciting news. Well, for us anyway. I hope it's exciting for you. So, we've continued to poke at TLN about getting embedding code to be able to embed your agent profiles into our website, because we talked to them when we were at Edge, and they told me, oh, I don't know if we do that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you run all your websites on WordPress, so there must be a way to do it, because you do it for people who do their websites through you. So I've been nagging and nagging and nagging, and they finally have said they will do it. So we're really excited. So what I would say is Tina's got to sign off on some forms, and then they're going to provide us with the API to put that through to our website. So you'll want to make sure that your agent profile is up to date and looks good, because that's going to feed directly to our site, and you'll each have your own page under the Meet Our Team. So you'll want to make sure that's looking good, because that's what's going to take the place of our kind of regular pages now. So that's exciting. And it'll give clients a lot more information on you, which I think will be really helpful. Just got the newest hosted cruises up, Karen. We're just waiting on some photos, and your last one's going to go up, so the hosted cruises should be up to date. MSC month, so we're continuing to get content out for that. Another contest going out this week, a little flash contest, and then next month will be Black Friday. So we've got everybody on board. We sent out all the information for that, for their webinars, and we'll have a schedule for that, which we can share with everybody. We're just waiting on Royal Caribbean to confirm their webinar time. And then we also are working on confirming everybody for the virtual 12 days of Cruisemas. And some of them are coming to the table with some special offers, which is great. So right now, just let me double check where we're at. So right now we have 8 out of 12 days that are booked. And we've got some outstanding asks. We do have Windstar and Azamara from Luxury. So that's kind of exciting, not just to have our contemporary cruise lines, and hopefully we'll get a couple more on board for that. And then this week we're just finalizing our supplier of the month, our new promo pitch for that, as well as some things that potentially will be coming down the pipeline. So we haven't got all the details around things like Black Friday and Cruisemas for next year, because we want to see how all these roll out this year, because we learned the hard way for Christmas in July. Some things sound like a great idea in theory, and then in practice, they're not that fantastic. So we're looking at that. We're looking at, new creative ways to partner with our suppliers. We're thinking about the possibility of a podcast. Amy has experience with that, so I'm going to chat with her to see what that might look like. That might be next year, it might be the year after. We're not We're not 100% sure yet, but that's something that we're looking at. What else is going on from, the usual day to day, obviously we're working on. And then the other thing is continuing to build out the website. And then we've got, we're working with Thinker for Cruise Complete and what that's going to look like when that launches, but we're not quite there with that either. There's a little bit of back and forth still to go.
Little bit of like, it's not my job. Well, it's not my job.
Yeah, we can't do that. We weren't given these parameters. Oh, yeah, we gave you those parameters. You're supposed to do that. So there's a lot of like finger pointing back and forth about who has access to be able to do things. So we're just trying to sort
The nice thing is, though, I did talk to Vuk last week. We just had a one-on-one actually with Diego, and because I had a bunch of questions for them that was kind of somewhat Salesforce, but not all Salesforce related. And he said we will 100% be live before the end of the year, because I said I need to know a timeline, because we've got to upgrade our Google Workspace, and there's some things that have to be done ahead of time. And he said, nope, we're on track to be live in the next, I guess, what is it? How many weeks is that to Christmas? Why am I so 1, 2, 3, 4? So 10? No,
9.
9. It'll happen before then. He won't let it go that long, anyways. So as soon as they're done building the system, which Diego's involved now, so as soon as they're done building, then that's when everybody will be getting involved. So right now we're just in the stages of building the system, but we're very close. They're working on invoicing now, which is kind of one of the last parts. And then once we get somewhat of a draft system, then we can start all playing with it and finding all the bugs and errors. It's pretty robust. It's pretty good.
Oh,
all right.
Also, just on one thing I forgot. So this Wednesday at 7 p.m. is the MSC webinar. And last I checked, I think we had about 47 people signed up. So should be good. That's exciting. And one of the other things I can mention is one of the things we've added to our Supplier of the Month pitch is the opportunity for suppliers to put $500 toward having an agent or a marketing staff member on a cruise during that month. So there's some parameters around that. It's not just like here's $500, go.
It's like a hosted cruise. There'll be rules.
yeah, there's parameters around it, and it can't be a hosted cruise because we don't want to take away from your hosted cruise to have you working on Supplier of the Month. But we have all that information. It's laid out, and it's going to be dependent on whether the suppliers are interested in that, because it's an add-on. They don't have to do it. But I'm just...
The way we used to build Supplier of the Month was we used to just let them tell us how much they were giving us. This year we're starting with a $500 US minimum, and that gets you A, B, and C. And then we've given them lots of options to add on extras, because there'll be some that, like Azamar, Celebrity, and Royal, that will give us more than 500 US. They'll also want to give us swag. They'll also want to give us a booking bonus. They'll want to do extra. So we are giving them options to do all of those extras. The only company at this point that's going to get a freebie next year is Disney, because we still haven't been able to prove to them that we can sell. Once we get that, once we have that under us, who knows, maybe they'll start giving us something. But at this point, VFC is covering the Disney. They've been pretty good with us ever since we kind of let them have it earlier this year. So hopefully next year we'll be on board with Disney again. But everybody else, this is the minimum. If you want to be part of this, this is how much it costs to be with us. We're also developing new ways to increase revenue for certain things, like like if they want to run a sale and they want us to build a landing page, then we're going to start charging them for landing pages. Or they want to have a newsletter, an extra newsletter, or they want to run a banner ad on our website. We're looking at all these opportunities so that we aren't just, and it's not about making money because we don't make any money. All we're just trying to do is just cover the marketing expense right now of somebody like Linda having to build out a whole new website page. So there has to be some kind of funding for that initiative. Okay. Anything else, Linda?
No, I think that's. I'm just double checking my calendar here. I think that is it. We've got a luxury e-news going out while we're away on the 23rd.
Ooh, Matt's going to post one today for Silversea. He's going to do, yeah.
And we've got our Tina e-news going out this Thursday. So yeah, all good.
Okay. Just a side note too. So Karen came to me a couple of days ago, and she had a client that wanted to book a Club Med. So that does not fall under all inclusives, because I know, we always say we don't want to deal with all inclusives, but Club Med is something different. That would be more like a land, because you actually book the land and then you add on the air. So I was like, yeah, let's see what we can do. So we applied right away for a Club Med account. Karen called them, was able to get a quote for her client, just got notification back that we've got the application now. So I think Kayla will get that submitted as soon as she can. And Karen, I don't know whether that's still an opportunity, but that was a pretty big booking if you get that. So, reach out to us if there's anything like that. Like, no, I don't want to get into the world of all-inclusive, obviously, but Club Med is a completely different kind of a ball game. So if somebody wanted to book like a villa in the Caribbean, again, that doesn't fall under all-inclusives. So yeah, Kayla, did you get that email from me?
Yeah, I'm actually filling it out while you're talking.
So we should hopefully have that account soon.
Great.
All right. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up? Anybody in the background? Let us know. I assume everyone's excited for Sunday. A lot of moving parts right now.
I think Lisa and Nuni are the only ones in the background, and nobody's got their hand up. Lisa did make a comment in the chat saying she checked her spam and had 3 client emails and none had attachments.
Yes. So just for those of you that are going, just so you know, when those of you that are going on the Oasis tour, we're probably going to get kicked off of Celebrity. This is how I'm trying to organize the day. We're probably going to get kicked off Celebrity at 9, I would say, at the latest. We're going to ask for the last transfer because it's too far of a walk to get from Pier 25 to Pier 18. So we're going to get on the last transfer. I'm hoping it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock at least, like later the better. We're going to head over to the Oasis. I've asked Ollie to find a place for people to put their luggage that doesn't end up on the ship, because that wouldn't be good. But somewhere to put the luggage for those people that are going on a plane later that day, because some of us are actually going back to the Silhouette, so we won't have our luggage, but there's people that will have their luggage with them. So I've asked Ollie to find a place for that. And then I found a coffee shop that's like a 4-minute walk from Pier 18. It's called the Seafarers Cafe. Kayla called this morning, made sure it's not just for crew. We can actually go in there and get coffee. So if we get stuck waiting to get on the Oasis, because Ollie's saying our tour, we won't be able to get on the Oasis till 10:30, we can head over and have a quick coffee and then head back to the Oasis while we're waiting, just so we're not standing outside for 2 hours. So that's my idea to try. I tried to find something to keep us busy just for that little bit of time in between. And then we'll head on the Oasis, and I think they're going to feed us some lunch, and we'll have a tour, and should be fun. And then some of us will be scrambling back to the Silhouette, and others will be headed home. So that is the plan for the 26th. All right. And I have schedules, and I'm printing them out, and I'm bringing them for us. And you will have a lanyard with your schedule in your lanyard. So you will know exactly what is happening on what day. Okay. And it's busy. And Sandra's still looking at adding more stuff on when she gets on the ship. She's like, I'm going to see if we can get a bridge tour and a heli tour and a wine tasting and a this and a that. And I'm looking at the calendar going, when's your time for naps? All right. Anything else? Otherwise,
Are we meeting for luxury?
I don't think we need to unless Matt or Rick or Karen has anything they want to talk about. Nope. Matt, I can't see you, but I'm assuming you're nodding no.
I'm nodding no.
Okay. All right. No luxury then. We're good. All right, guys. Have a good week. Get packing. We'll see you online.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye.